Hey there, Purple Color Life family. In today's video, we're diving into something that most truck owners probably need to master or at least be a little bit more comfortable with, and that's towing with your Ford truck. In fact, towing with any truck or any vehicle, but this video specifically is some tips, 5 tips to towing with your Ford truck. When it comes to towing with confidence and safety, whether you're towing an enclosed trailer, a landscaping trailer, a camper like us, or a boat, there are some key things to remember. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 key things to remember before you hook up or as you hook up to whatever you're towing. Now, Olive and I are really glad that point number 1 brings us inside the truck because it is a hot day out today. It's in the upper 90s, which means the real field temperature is over 100. So point number 1, and I actually mentioned this in a previous video where I talked about 7 things I've learned over time of owning this F350 with the Godzilla engine. But this point number 1 when it comes to towing tips is something I didn't know until a few weeks ago. And shame on me for not reading the manual or not exploring this a little bit further, but this is what I'm talking about. Tip number 1. For tip number 1, we're going to be looking here at the steering wheel. So this is our controls for what we're seeing inside the main area there. You can see we're currently, display mode is set to digital speedometer. And I want to go down to towing. And here we've got trailer status, trailer options. You can select which trailer. So Chaparral is our 5th wheel, and A is actually our car mate trailer. B is the boat. And I've got the jet ski on there. So you can choose which trailer you're looking for. So let's select the 5th wheel. You can see in here you can change the brake type, brake effort, delete trailer, change trailer setup, rename trailer, reset trailer distance, blind spot measure, add blind spot. You can also add a trailer in this area. But this, so obviously I've been in here, but I've never been in this con checklist. And shame on me because this is awesome. You can see we've got conventional, 5th wheel, gooseneck, option. So let's go for the 5th wheel with 5th wheel. This is a checklist built into the control of the truck. So just imagine, you know, a lot of times when you're connecting the trailer, you feel like you're in a hurry or you've got a million other things on your mind. And I mentally have a checklist that I go through. I know a lot of people actually create a physical checklist that they go through every single time. This tutorial on the screen is a great way that Ford has made it a safer way to connect your trailer and make sure everything's done right. So this is after you've connected. First question is kingpin jaws locked. You're going to check and make sure you have them locked and say okay. Release handle locked. Okay. And to say okay, I'm using this button right here. Electrical wiring. Okay. Lights functioning correctly. So a lot of times I'll have Jennifer stand behind me and I'll turn on, you know, left turn signal, right turn signal, hazards, touch the brakes, turn on the running lights, and then she verifies at the back of the trailer that those things are all working. Now you can run through that checklist. Landing gear raised, this is another awesome reminder. Wheel chocks removed. Mirrors adjusted. Remember in our truck, that's just pushing this button and extending the mirrors out. So as we work our way through this video, I'd appreciate if you just leave a comment down below. Let us know what your tow rig is and what you're towing with it. That'll be awesome to read down through those comments and see what you're towing with and what you're towing. Trailer brake control gain setting adjusted. So we have ours for the 5th wheel set at 7.5, and that brake controller is right down here When you squeeze it, that is what adjusts. When you squeeze it, that's what activates the brakes on the trailer, and the more you squeeze, the more active they are. But that happens automatically also when you're pressing the brake pedal. The harder you press the brake pedal, the more it activates your trailer brake controller. Now you can always increase or decrease that using the plus or minus right here. So we know for this trailer 7.5 is good, and then it'll tell you if the trailer is disconnected. Now if you look behind us, I am not currently connected to the trailer, so yes, it is disconnected. Let's just for fun go through the conventional checklist. Ball coupler connected and locked, electrical wiring, lights functioning. One cool thing about this F350 that I've noticed is that it does tell you when the trailer lights are not working. So on our jet ski, when we pulled it out of storage, I noticed that it was giving me an alert that said my trailer right-hand turn signal was not working, and it was exactly right. It needed the bulb replaced. So really awesome that the truck can sense those things. So lights, safety chains, and in our case, in Pennsylvania, those safety chains are to be crossed. Tongue jack raised, mirrors adjusted, trailer brake control gain setting, and then it's reminding me I'm not connected. Gooseneck, coupler locked, wiring, lights, safety chains, landing gear, wheel chocks, mirrors, brake controller. So another thing I wanted to show you is that it keeps track per trailer. So here, it's showing us when we've been connected to the fifth wheel camper, we've done 4,373 miles with the average fuel economy during that time of 12.4 miles per gallon. Now, I think there have probably been times where I maybe have selected Chaparral when I was connected to a different trailer, because 12.4 seems really good to me for all the towing we've done with the camper. Maybe I made a mistake in selecting a trailer, but it's awesome that the truck keeps track of those accumulated miles towing different trailers and then the fuel economy for that. That's a really cool thing. And I think the thing you'll see on trailer A is that I have it set up as a shorter trailer, and that allows the blind spot monitor to work. When I'm towing our fifth wheel camper, the blind spot monitor does not work, and that's because I have it set up as a fifth wheel trailer and the length of it behind the truck, and that doesn't allow blind spot monitoring to work. But you can see, however I have trailer A set up, it does have, let's see what we have for settings here. Is the width less than 9 feet and the length less than 33? And I have yes selected. Trailer length at 18. So that allows the blind spot to work on that trailer. So there you go. Tip number one, go ahead and use the onboard intelligence that the truck has as an additional checklist, just to make sure you've got everything done. Just imagine you're flipping through that. It takes, less than a minute. You're like, yes, I did connect the chains. Yes, I did pull the chocks out. It's just a great way to make sure that you're towing more safely and more confidently. The other thing you want to do is right here. So when you are towing, you're going to push this down, and you'll see on the display mode, we're going to change to tow haul. At least if you're towing or hauling something heavy, that's the best way to do that. And you can see I've got my little trailer symbol down there. To take that off, just go back through the drive modes to normal. I also have been, when I'm towing the camper sometimes, using these buttons lately, which locks out, in my case, I do 10th and 9th gear. So if I'm gonna be towing like we are here in Northwest Pennsylvania, up and down a lot of grades, I go ahead and lock out 9th and 10th gear, because that's a lot of extra shifting. It'll go, up to 10th gear, and then you start to climb a grade and it's gotta shift back down to 8th or 7th anyway. It's too much unnecessary shifting. So by locking out 10th and 9th, that makes 8th gear my maximum gear. And you can actually lock out, more than that, but I typically just do lock out 10th and 9th. Now yesterday, because it was so super hot, we took the pontoon boat out, and I actually locked out 10th gear even towing the pontoon boat. Now the pontoon boat is not very heavy, very easy for this truck to tow, but there's also a lot of wind resistance, and yesterday was a pretty windy day. So on the interstate at 65, 70 miles an hour, I found the truck was going 10th, 9th quite a bit for those little bits of grade we were climbing. So I went ahead and locked out 10th gear, and we just used 1st through 9th. And it made it a much more comfortable drive because the truck wasn't trying to maintain the best gear at 10th and then climbing a little bit of a grade and having to shift down more. Tip number 2, stay on top of regular maintenance. In just a recent video, I did the oil change in this F350 truck. The 7.3 got some all new oil in it. We used the AMSOIL Signature full synthetic oil in this truck. Thinking about days like today, it's super hot out. This truck has to run not only to pool, but also to run that air conditioning. So great to have the proper maintenance done across the whole vehicle, from changing your fluids, checking your brakes, regular inspections. All that helps make towing a lot better, because breaking down along the side of the road is no fun at all. Never underestimate the importance of regular maintenance before towing. It just makes sense to do all those things ahead of time. And that's even things like inspecting the chains you're connecting, making sure that they're still, solid and not all rusted through, checking your wiring, checking your lights, replacing light bulbs if they need changed on the truck or the trailer. All those are things that make it a safer and better experience towing, especially anytime you're going on those long haul tows, like we've gone across the country to Mount Rushmore, or up to Dearborn, Michigan, or over to Yellowstone. And on those trips, definitely you want to get your tow vehicle and your trailer ready for the long haul. And if you're going to check things yourself, make sure you check everything: the transmission fluid, the coolant level, even the washer fluid level. Remember, towing puts extra strain on your vehicle, so it needs to be in tip-top shape. Okay, so we talked about going through that checklist in the truck, but I still like to keep a little checklist on hand, making sure that things that aren't covered, like for example, the breakaway cable. So I didn't mention that in the truck, but you always want to make sure you have your emergency breakaway cable connected for your fifth wheel. So on ours, we connect that to the pin that locks the kingpin. On the old travel trailer, we'd always connect that to the clip that was in the safety chain. Another thing to add to your checklist is making sure your chains are crossed. If you're towing, especially here in Pennsylvania, you want those chains crossed. And then I always do a complete walk around just to make sure all the jacks are up on the trailer, everything's connected, chains are connected, lights are connected, antennas down if we've had the antenna up on the trailer. All of that complete walk around is another important step before you pull away towing whatever you're towing. Having this all written down rather than just a mental list helps you when you're in a rush, which it always seems like you're in a rush. You meant to be on the road by 5 p.m. after work, and it took you longer to load firewood and stuff, and it ends up being 6 o'clock, so you're kind of rushing around. It pays to take your time for the pre-departure checklist. Another thing to take a look at, inspect those tires, and I'm talking about the tires on your tow vehicle and your trailer. You're checking for proper air pressure. You're checking the tread. You're checking the sidewalls, checking for weather checking. There's all kinds of checking to do when it comes to tires. Make sure you complete all that properly. I like to have an air gauge that tells me the pressure, so it's easy to see if I'm up to pressure. On the truck, I run 80 pounds in the back when towing and about 70 pounds in the front. And then on the trailer, as the tires recommend, I've got load range D tires, so I run those pretty high pressure on the trailer. But you always want to have the proper pressure in the trailer tires and the truck tires, and then again, inspect those. Another thing you want to do is check the date. So this tire has an 05/20 date. That means this tire was made in the 5th week of 2020, probably about the same time that our truck was made. And you want to make sure you don't let your tires get too old. Now, people say 6 years is about the life expectancy of a tire. We'll probably run these one more summer before we replace them. So when you're inspecting your tire, you want to kind of run your hand across it. You're not just looking for tread issues, but for bulges. You don't want any broken belts in that tire. You look on the tread side, you look on the tire side. You're looking for anything that looks out of the ordinary or unsafe. A blown out tire on the side of the road while you're towing is not only inconvenient, it can be really unsafe. So before you leave, check those tires. Last but not least, you want to check the lights and the brakes on your tow vehicle and your trailer. So you want to have someone standing behind the trailer. You turn the right turn signal on, they say right turn signal. You turn the left on, they say left turn signal. Brakes, running lights, parking lights, all that, you want to make sure it's working not only on your tow vehicle, but on the trailer. So you have someone standing back there. Now, Jennifer and I kind of make a fun game of it. I call her on her cell phone, she stands behind, and we verify that everything's working with her behind the trailer. And then as far as the brakes, checking those, I do that right here in our long driveway. We have a gravel driveway. I can squeeze the electronic brake controller and easily lock up those tires if I want to on the fifth wheel, and that lets me know that the electronic brakes are working and connected properly. You want to check all those running lights, your clearance lights, all the lights down the side of the trailer, hazards and turn signals. There's our travel map, by the way. I'll put a link to a map like this. Now, the rule we've made in our family is you have to sleep overnight in that state in order to earn the sticker for that state. So you can see we've done a pretty good job on the northern section of the United States. We've got a lot to do down here, but that's probably because I really don't like the heat, so I avoid this area in the summertime. I'm gonna throw a little bonus piece in here also. You always wanna make sure you're using a hitch that you're comfortable with. We've actually tested 2 different hitches with this truck towing the fifth wheel. So I'll put a link up above to the Anderson hitch and then to also the B&W hitch. We've made videos about both of those. We've also made videos about the turning radius of this truck with the long bed connected to the fifth wheel. So I'll put all those video links probably down below in the description so you can check those out after you watch this video. So there you go, 5 simple tips to help you tow safely and more confidently with your truck. Now remember, those Ford Super Duty truck tips don't only apply to the Ford Super Duty. That control process is also in other F-150s, Expeditions. A lot of the newer Ford vehicles that can tow have that connection checklist built in within the setup of the control screen. If you found this video informative and entertaining, please give us a big thumbs up. Leave those comments down below, maybe anything I forgot or how you do your checklist best. I know some people that have the checklist laminated and they use the dry erase marker. They'll check everything off. After they've got it all cleared, they wipe that off and it's ready to go for the next time. Now, some people also do that for the disconnect checklist so that you're making sure that before you even disconnect, you've got enough room for your slide out to go out. You've got enough hose to connect to the water, enough electrical line to get to wherever the pedestal is to connect your electricity if you're connecting to electric. So there are all kinds of checklists that can make towing and camping more enjoyable. I recommend you come up with a system that works really good for you and then stick to that system and prove it over time. And if you're not already subscribed to Purple Collar Life, please consider clicking that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified when we put out new videos. We've got all kinds of videos coming up this summer that include towing, camping, some truck information, as well as the typical Purple Collar Life combination of our white collar day jobs and our blue collar living here in rural Northwest Pennsylvania. We do a lot of chainsaw, firewood, tractor, and property maintenance in our area, our neck of the woods, as we like to say. You can see as soon as I hooked up the trailer, the fifth wheel, it tells me that the blind spot and cross traffic alert is deactivated because the trailer, that size trailer, makes it impossible for this truck to do those things.
Cut it sharper. Sharper. You're gonna be off the pad. Yeah, can you see that far? Can you just follow it over there? Follow the pavement?